Live long and die laughing. Chapter 41, Bill Gaither's non-heart attack. It was Friday morning. I got a call from Barry Jennings around 10:30. Barry is Bill Gaither's son-in-law and CEO. He said that Bill had been experiencing chest pains and was going to have an angiogram. An angio what? I asked. What is that? Barry said the doctors are going to have to shoot dye up Bill's veins and see what's happening with his heart. I said, well, tell them not to get any dye on his hair. It's already a color not found in nature. It's not that kind of dye, Mark, Barry replied. The angiogram showed that Bill needed to have an angioplasty. One of his veins was 90% clogged, and all of the others were wide open and flowing butter. But the one on the back of his heart needed some attention. I wondered if it was because of all the fried chicken he'd been eating since I joined the Gaither vocal band. Actually, Bill is very conscientious about what he eats. I think therein lies the problem. He eats oatmeal every morning. That stuff will clog a toilet. I'm sure it's not good for your veins. Anyway, Bill had his surgery and everything's fine. He's feeling great. All of his veins are now 100% open, and he did not have a heart attack. The doctors discovered the potential problem and caught it early. Along with the news of Bill's heart problem, Barry also told me I was going to have to host the homecoming concerts that weekend in Jonesboro, Georgia, and Omaha, Nebraska. Now that news nearly caused me to have a heart attack. I was shaking. How was I going to tell thousands of people that Bill wasn't coming? These people came to see Bill Gaither and his homecoming friends. I thought back to when I had a bout with pneumonia. The International Relief Organization, World Vision, invited me to visit Haiti and film some video footage for their upcoming telethon. I couldn't pass up that opportunity. I was excited about being able to meet the children the ministry is helping, and especially excited about meeting one of the children I helped support, but had never met. During the weeks prior to the trip, I talked to several people who had been on similar trips. One person said, Mark, this trip will really change your life. I said, great, I could use that. I had to get my body ready for the trip. No, I didn't start doing push-ups or running a mile every day, but I did have to get some preventative medication. Since malaria is rampant in Haiti, and since I don't really care for malaria, I started taking pills well in advance of my departure date to prevent me from contracting the disease. I had to go to the local Center for Disease Control office to get the proper prescription. The doctor was real encouraging. She said, you shouldn't have to worry about hepatitis B because if you're careful, you probably won't get that. But, she said, you really should get the typhoid shot. I felt certain that all I needed was the malaria pills, but she was a young, new doctor, and she was trying to act all grown up with that prescription pad, so I thought I'd go ahead and let her sign me up for a typhoid prevention, even though I really didn't need it. Next thing I know, my pants are down around my ankles, and she's sticking needles in my hiney. I didn't know she signed me up for that. Well, I had a cold when I got the shot. And I guess since I was already sick, the shot threw me straight into pneumonia. I called Bob, my office manager, and asked him if he could recommend a good family doctor. I didn't have a doctor because I hadn't been sick in years. Bob recommended his doctor, and I went to see him. Guess what my new doctor's name is? Dr. Gaither. I'm not kidding. Thankfully, he's no relation to Bill. Dr. Gaither took an x-ray of my lungs and told me I had pneumonia. Mark, you need to go home and go to bed. I can't, Dr. Gaither, I told him. I have to leave town to go out with the Gaithers. Dr. Gaither looked confused. I said, Bill Gaither doesn't understand the word sick. In fact, the weekend before my appointment, Guy Penrod was throwing up and had diarrhea. I thought long and hard, trying to figure out a better way to say that, but I don't think there is one. And he still sang. So Bill wasn't going to let me take time off for a miserable little case of pneumonia. And you know what? He didn't. I called Bill and told him what Dr. Gaither said. Without missing a beat, Bill said, so does this mean you're going to fly or ride the bus? So when I heard about Bill's heart condition, I called Bill up and found him in the hospital room, and I said, hey, Bill, does this mean you're going to fly or ride the bus? He laughed. I asked it again. He tried to explain to me how this wasn't apples and apples. I said something like, "Oh, yeah, I filled in for Bill that weekend, but I didn't like it. I was scared to death. My mind was racing. I was in a dilemma. Barry was asking me to tell all those people in Jonesboro and Omaha that Mr. He Touched Me, Mr. Video King, Mr. Never Missed a Concert in 40 Years wasn't going to be there. I was shaking. We weren't just missing one of the homecoming singers, one of the groups, or one of the soloists. We were missing the hub. We were missing the person around whom everything turned. Our coach was sick. Should I do it? Should I resign? Should I run away and hide? To help me make my decision, I asked Barry, if I do the MC work for the concert, is there any extra money in it? No, Mark, no extra money, Barry replied. I did it anyway. It would look good on my resume. The Goodmans, Jay Cass, the Martins, Janet Paschal, the Gaitherless Vocal Band, Bob Kane and Ben Spear all did a great job. I've never heard any of them sing better. They all came to the plate and hit a home run. Of course, Bill had written down the songs he expected us to sing in order and had it faxed to me from his hospital bed. Ben Spear laughed when I told him Bill had sent me a program. Ben said, even from the hospital bed, he's still programming the concert. And Bill saw it all. Without telling us, Bill had somebody videotape the concerts and bring it to him. He called me a few days later while he was watching the concert videos. He's a sneaky little sick one, but he was also quick to acknowledge the extra effort everyone had exerted. Bill said he was very proud of all of us. I told him it was the best Gaither concert I'd ever been to. He laughed, so I said it again. He said something like, "Oh, yeah?